Hey, for the little Life in All Its Fullness video, I'm gonna be reading a little poem for you. It's called Envy. He envies artists who can bring to life what he can only describe. He regales his tales to the many, knowing your brushstrokes need not be published. He looks through his writings to see what he can show and not tell, but in the end, his words paint a picture that your hands could paint. He creates a brawl, having characters clash, all the while knowing your take would have shown the chaos more beautifully. He sets the scene with waterfalls, great oaks, flowers, and serenity, knowing that for you it is already set. He describes intricate, flowing action. Seeing your pastels makes all his descriptions feel static. His characters shift like the sands, yet you take yours and give them life. He brings readers to tears, emulating the despair of your depictions of strife. He explains his systems of magic, while your wizards need no elaboration. He holds pride in his eldritch beasts until he sees your mind's machinations. Yet, despite wishing for your skill, you can only be in awe of the windows you draw into worlds of your own. Hope you can one day write well enough to garner your envy as you've garnered his, and someday inspire you to grow as you've inspired me. Um, this poem is about, well, yeah, it's about envy for other artists, but in a sort of inspiration way. I've, for a very long time, enjoyed uh, having little forays into multiple mediums. I like to draw, mostly sketches. I hate coloring stuff. Um, I like to make poems. I like to write stories, and from practicing all of these different mediums, and from seeing other artists in different mediums, it's made me have a very strong appreciation for artists in separate mediums. For example, manga and comics, and how uh, these artists will use lines and this and that to draw your attention and make your eye flow through the pages of a comic, or cinematography, and how movies in general, and how sound, visuals, and writing all come together to make something that's a lot tougher and takes much more manpower than a book or those kind of things, and usually ends up be having so much of a larger gap of what can go wrong. You can have a good movie with bad music, you can have a good movie with bad visuals, you can have a good movie with terrible writing, which is just cool. I More than anything, I love uh, painters and that kind of stuff. That's the one that I was always the most that I looked up to the most. Is why I wrote this story, this poem about a painter or another artist that likes to sketch things. But yeah, that's where I see a lot of beauty in how people push their own passion and their own view into mediums that are so different and so separate from what I do and what I like doing. Um, which is just it's cool. So yeah, bye.